Hello, everyone. Good evening. Ayan. Okay. So again, good evening, everyone, and welcome to No Code PH. I'm Marissa, and I'm going to be your host for today's event. So while waiting for the rest of the participants for tonight, let's try to know each other. So if you can comment your nickname and where you're from in the chat box so we can shout you out. Okay, wala pa akong nakakita sa chat room. Ayan. So again, everyone, let's try to get to know each other. So if you're here, kindly comment your nickname and where you're from in the chat box so we can call you. By the way, guys, let's acknowledge the presence of our No Code PH founder. We have Crystal here. Hi, Crystal. Okay, nakamute siya. Okay, hi, Crystal from Parañaque. How about the rest, guys? Where are you from? Your nickname, so we can call you. Hindi pa naman siya recitation, so you're fine. Hi, Brits from Makati. All right. Hello, King from Mandaluyong. Okay, so let's just wait for the rest. Let's go ahead and officially start at 8:05. So we still have 2 minutes. Hi, Carl from Caloocan. Michael from Parañaque. Oliver from Pasay, Pasay City, and then from Manila. Puro mga taga NCR. Okay, 2 more minutes. Okay, hello Carlo from Davao. Ayan. Lumayo-layo tayo. Nakarating tayo sa ano. Nakalabas na tayo ng Luzon. Okay. Uy, I'm Rich from Bicol. I'm also from Bicol. Where you are in Bicol? I'm from Albay. Okay. Kapitbahay na town. Okay, 1 more minute. Okay. Ayan. Baka maya-maya pa kasi ano. Baka nagdi-dinner pa yung iba. Wala na. How many are we? Okay. We're just 15 for now. Okay, so it's now 8:05, guys. So it's time. Probably we can start, and then for the rest, siguro habol na lang sila. All right. So, by the way, can you imagine we are already on our fifth week of the No Code Challenge number 2 in partnership with Adalo. Now, I know that today is a holiday, so we really appreciate you spending your night with us. But Anyway, don't worry because tonight is going to be a good. We're going to have a good Friday because two things. First is there will be three lucky winners of the No Code PH shirt. But don't worry because it's not a raffle, guys. So it's not a matter of luck. The only thing that you need to do to win is to listen. And of course, we are going to learn about the PWA and business development. So I myself is not yet familiar as well with PWA. So that's why it's going to be an exciting topic for tonight. Now, before I introduce our speaker for tonight, let's just have a recap on some ground rules. Okay, so first is be kind and respectful to everyone. Also, this is highly encouraged that you engage in commenting and asking question in the chat box. And lastly, have fun. Okay, so before I introduce our speaker, can everyone click the heart emoji? So I just know that everyone's ready, or any emoji. Okay, I got 2, 3, 4. Okay, yeah, all right. So almost everyone is ready now. Okay, so I would like to introduce to you our speaker for today. He is actually the CTO and co-founder of ComplabIO, .io, and he is also a tech enthusiast and advocate of innovation. He started his career as a mobile developer, which paved the way for opportunities to build apps for startup companies across the globe. Now, his mission is to help founders and no coders to build their dream apps with Adalo. Now, if you attended the past events, right, I'm pretty sure you learned a lot from the previous speakers. But our speaker for tonight is extra special because he and his company represents us Filipinos among the Adalo expert worldwide. So our speaker for tonight is no other than Daniel Galang, and I'm gonna give the floor to you. Hi, Daniel.
Hello, hi Marisa. Thank you for the warm introductions.
I'm
So,
gonna stop sharing
yeah, hold on. Can you hear the background noise? Sorry.
a bit.
Okay, wait. Let me just fix this real. Sorry about that. It's just my my dog making some noise in the background. But anyway, actually, when Crystal of No Code told me that she's gonna have an event, and she asked me like, what do you want to discuss for this event for No Code? I said last time I did a workshop in what do you call this? Making an app in Adalo. This time I want to focus more on the progressive web app and basically focus more on the business side of things. Well, not literally talking about the business model or not being too technical in the business, but rather showing the opportunities that you can do with building progressive web apps in Adalo. So the reason, well, anyway, the progression of this of my presentation is going to be more of like of a storytelling, because mostly my career in ComLab, my career in the development field, basically revolved in doing making progressive web apps and basically um basically trial and error. So maybe I should formally introduce myself first. Um, my name is Daniel, and I graduated 2020. I graduated last 2020, and after graduation, I thought like I was so idealistic at that time, and I wanted to build applications, change the world, do a lot of things, and you know f- uh, change the lives of many Filipino people, those who are struggling with my skill in programming and in development. So actually, wait, Well, most of us are Filipino here. I might speak in uh, Filipino from time to time, but basically, that's my vision. I want to make something different. Maybe building an app that will become the next, I don't know, Facebook that will become the next Grab, Uber. Very full of passion at that time. So after I graduated, basically, my background is in React Native. It's a funny story because I hate mobile development back in college because it was never taught to us in college. We just have to learn it on our own because it's part of our proposal in our capstone project. So I said, okay, let's use React Native because that's the big name at that time. Basically, when I search for what do you call this mobile development, the most recommended mobile development platform is React Native. Is because it's hybrid. You can develop iOS and Android at the same time. Whereas if I'm going to develop an Android app and an iOS app, first I have to learn well, I know Java, but I have to learn Kotlin. I need to learn Swift. I need to learn how the design principles or design patterns of iOS and Android. And maybe I calculated it's gonna take me like 2 years, maybe 2 years. I have to do it alone. It's gonna take me 2 years to complete the app. That's considering that I'm gonna use a managed backend like Firebase for the mobile app that I'm building. And basically I started building the app. The idea of that app is E Newman. It's letter E dash Newman because that was the onset of the pandemic, and all of my friends are hosting drinking sessions online, even Discord, in Google Meet, and in Zoom. So I thought of, what if I can make an app that's like Zoom, wherein it's gonna focus on what do you call this, in online drinking session, when you can chat with friends. There are filters, there are online games inside of the chat room. You can order drinks from nearby stores, or basically integrate this from I don't know, food delivering platforms. So I started working on it. After 2 months, I gave up basically because along the way, like people are telling me like, it's not a good idea. It's not gonna work out. Why would people use this if there's already Discord, if there's Zoom? So basically, it got the best of me, and I lost motivation in doing it. Then I thought of, okay, I want to build my second app idea, and that idea is basically a food delivery platform that focuses more on small to medium, basically MSME, micro, small, and small to medium business enterprises in the Philippines. Like I would like to cater, carinderia stores, starting food businesses, because whenever I crave for something homemade or like lutong bahay, it's very hard for me to find them in food ordering apps. So I realized like, okay, if 90% of, or 90 or 98% of businesses in the Philippines are MSME, and most of them are not on this platform, then why can't I make a platform that will cater to them? Basically, I want to help them succeed, and also I want to order, homemade food from nearby stores. So I did that. I started again with this React Native. I started asking help from my friends who are UI and UX expert, because I'm not really good in designing. And after 2 to 3 months, I got stressed out because I thought, okay, I've been doing this for almost half a year and I'm not earning anything. And even if I complete this app, I'm not sure if it's gonna work well because I don't have a background in marketing. I don't have the capital to, push a marketing campaign for this one. I'm a broke college kid. I don't know, broke fresh graduate at that time. So, it's good that you have this number of ideas running in your head. Most of the time, it happens like 3 a.m. in the morning. Before I go to sleep, I'm gonna have this like random idea, and like at 4 a.m. I want to start coding. I want to build this app. Then by the time I wake up, maybe 10 a.m., I just feel like, what kind of boring or lame idea was that? So it's very common. Like it happens to me like almost every day actually. So every night I have an idea. Every morning, I don't feel like doing that idea anymore. So it happens, and I thought about it. If this is gonna continue like for the next months or years, then I don't know. Maybe I'm gonna lose my motivation as a developer. Maybe maybe basically I'm gonna be a freeloader in your house, not earning anything, and I wasted too much time. And that's when I learned about Adalo. Actually, that's when I met my co-founder, and if basically found a business model in building PWAs. So basically, I kept saying too much basically, but maybe the moral of that story is if you have an idea and you think if it's good enough, the first thing that you want to do is not to build it, but rather understand if there's a market for it. Because along the way, you're gonna find that maybe after a year of building an app or you know building a mobile app from scratch, whether it's from React Native or Flutter or Ionic or whatever platform or natively, what if at the end of the day that app didn't work? And I'm not sure. Maybe I'm gonna have mental breakdown. Regretting my decisions. Why did I pursue this kind of path if I know it's not gonna work well? And when actually, by the time I discovered PWA, I don't have any idea of how PWA works. I just know that that you can build an app and it's called PWA. I'm not really sure the difference between PWA and native apps back then. But using Adalo, basically, I can make apps maybe in a span, or it ranges from a week to a month, maybe 2 months if it's a really complex app. And the good thing about that, actually, the apps that I built in Adalo, maybe I built, I don't know, 10 apps that all of them failed actually. And I'm proud of it. All of them failed. And the reason why they fail is because as I build along the way, I'm gonna notice something. What if the user didn't like this approach? What if the user opted for a different approach? What if they don't want this kind of payment service? What if they want COD instead of this one? How I'm gonna make sure that the COD is gonna be process is successful and as an app owner, I'm gonna get paid and the business is gonna continue. How do I make sure that the business model is the best one? And I found out that there's no perfect business model. You have to learn it through iteration. You have to learn it through failure because the best ideas that work are those that are not uh that you don't stress about them too much. You just want to build them. And basically that's how we built Comlab. Basically Comlab, the story behind Comlab is after running out of ideas to build, after failing so many times, realized that other people like us are failing in building apps, but we already have the idea on how to build the app. What if we already know the missing components of their app and we can help other no-code founders around the globe make their dream apps or make their ideas come to reality? So after failing so many times, that's when we realized, okay, now we have a business model. And that business model actually came from our failure, came from a good amount of it came from my failure. So maybe the story behind it is I know a lot of people here maybe have your own personal business. I'm not saying this to tell that this is the perfect way to do things or to make things right, but I'm just sharing my share of experience and what worked for me. So I'm not sure if what worked for me will work for you, but maybe you're gonna have some ideas throughout this discussion. And basically, that's my goal, to help you, well, not basically fail, but to try new things with this new platform that we're using. Actually, Dallas fairly new. Maybe it's out for like 3 years, and So far, we've operated for almost a year. No, no, actually, the birthday of our company was April 5, like a couple last week. So we've been operating for more than a year. That includes the number of failures that of apps that I developed. So maybe 1.5 years. And I'm just gonna share some of the motivations that I found along the way in building apps in no code. So the focus of my discussion is actually PWAs. Has anyone here tried using PWAs or tried developing PWA apps? I mean, just type in the comment section if you have. So I know if who's familiar with progressive web apps because again, hindi ko alam ba't nag-English pa ako para Filipino naman dito. But again, I'm gonna switch to Filipino this time, but just so I can express myself easier. Basically, yung the progressive app is basically a progressive web app is you're going to build a mobile app, same siya ng mobile app, but it's actually a web app. It's actually similar to the websites that we see. So how does that happen? Is it similar to mobile responsive websites? Actually, that's a bit of confusion because some mobile responsive websites are PWA, some are just plain PWA. But basically, yung concept lang ng PWA is you build a website and you make it run like native app in your devices. So when I say native apps, ito yung mga these are the apps that are developed in programmatically. These are the apps that were built in Android and iOS. So actually, yung two lang naman. But for progressive web apps, gagawin mo siya, you build this similar to how you build a website, HTML, CSS, JavaScript. Then, if you open this on your mobile device, it's going to look like an actual website. So I'm not sure, but I'm just gonna show a demo. Maybe I think my screen is running. My webcam is running. But a PWA is basically you're gonna have a home screen in your phone, an app screen, and when you open the app, it works like oh sorry, it's blurred, but it basically looks like and feels like a native app. So what is a PWA? Actually, yun na ako yung presentation ko. Progressive Web App is a browser-based application that has become an alternative to native mobile app. So yun nga, more of alternative siya because it's not actually a native app. You build this as a web app. So here, experts describe PWA as a web app that looks and feels similar to native application. So basically, parang ginagaya mo lang yung feel ng mga application din download nyo from your phones, from your app store. For example, Grab, Food Panda, Facebook, Twitter, yung mga dina-download mo. But for PWAs, you don't have to download them sa App Store or sa Google Play. You just have to access the URL, maybe type maybe dims, or yeah, dimsilog. For example, dimsilog.com, and when you open that website in your phone, it will look and feel like a mobile app. And basically it's gonna save you a lot of storage. You don't have to install them. You don't need to struggle, finding them in the app store because aminin naman natin, 'di ba? Minsan nakakatamad mag-install and mag-search ng apps from the app store. And alam mo 'yun, pag in-install mo parang ang hassle din i-access minsan hanapin pa siya sa screen. But for PWAs, you can number one, you can access them through URL. Number two, you can also save them in your home screen. So similar or mimics the functionalities or the features, well, some of the features of a native app. So what are the samples of PWAs? So para dito sa mga mahilig mag-coffee, if you notice yung Starbucks, even yung last Christmas, yung card nila, like when you scan the QR code, it's gonna open off the card, yung nagko-collect ng stickers. when you scan the QR code, it's gonna link to an app, a browser-based app. So Starbucks built their menu. This is the food ordering menu, and also for the rewards. Well, this is in a different country, but for Philippines, the ordering, the rewards, it's built on PWA. And next is for residents of QC. If you're familiar, or well, anywhere naman siguro na merong contact tracing, most of these contact tracing forms are built in PWA. Some of them are website na katawang app. Sorry, binasa ko lang yon chat. But these apps are also built in PWA. Some of them browser based, but some of them look and feels like a native app. You can even save them from your home screen. So these are PWAs as well. And if you notice na once you scan, like nare-register nyo na, it caches your information. And next time na isa-scan mo na siya ulit, you don't have to input your details. Then this is Twitter like there are other applications, well, not all applications, for example, not all applications with the name Lite are PWAs, but a good example is Twitter Lite. This is PWA as well. So if these big companies are, well, QZ is not company, but this is a big practice in the industry and even in the government. So what is actually the benefit of using PWAs? Well, number one, it's like a native, feels like a native app. So basically, yun lang naman yung gusto ng mga tao eh. Like when they access an app, it's very intuitive, easy to use, easy to navigate, good UI and UX experience, and it gets the job done. With PWA, you can achieve this. Quick and easy to install. Just have to access the QR code. Then after none, it will load in your browser, and it feels like a mobile app. Feels like na-install mo siya from the App Store, and you can even save it in your home screen. So for iPhone devices, if you open a website in Safari and may parang bookmark button doon, there's an option to actually save the PWA in your app screen. Not actually the bookmark, but the upload icon. If you check the app later, I'm gonna show it anyway. But if you click that upload icon, you can literally store that web app in your phone to transform it to a PWA. So no need to download, no need to acquire a space from your phone, no need to search for them in the App Store or um ano sa Google ulit or sa Android App Store. And number two is enhanced performance. The reason bakit enhance yung performance, well, this actually depends on how the app is developed. But since it's running on the web, sometimes for especially for light apps, again, may limitations naman ng PWA. But for light apps, let's say for listing, it's gonna have an enhanced performance because mas madali mag-load yung mga assets and elements since um, well, it actually depends. Actually depends on actually there's a lot of factors. But basically in the enhanced performance, number one is if it's designed properly, then it it will perform the same as almost the same as a native app. And working everywhere. You don't need to upload this in the iOS store and the Google Play Store. Yun nga, going back to my story, bumili ako na ng iOS and Google and hindi ko rin naman siya na-publish. So, I just wasted a lot of money nung time na yon. But for PWAs, you don't have to list this in the Apple and Google Play Store. You just need to buy a domain, or you can even use the free domain of Adalo. And basically, that's it. You can share it in your social media, your app. You can share the link. You can share the QR code. And faster installation process. Then updating silently. In mobile apps kasi, if you publish these apps in the App Store and Google Play Store, and for example, you fixed a bug, you're gonna run an update, they have to download the update. in their apps, or basically run an updates App Store or Play Store. But for PWAs, you can literally update the progressive web app similar to how you update a website, and it will reflect almost immediately to all users. Can you send notifications to a user with PWA? Um, Theoretically, yes, you can do that in a PWA, but for Adalo, it's still a limitation that currently a limitation of the platform. So basically, other people, what they're doing in Adalo is they're opting for an SMS type of notification, since push notification is not working in well with PWAs in Adalo. But if you're gonna build your Adalo app in the App Store, Play Store, then the push notification works. For PWAs lang actually. Well, it's fair to say na this is very new then sa like Adalo is very new, so they're still exploring the different alternatives in making push notifications work for the PWA, but I think they're already working on it. So, lastly, no app distribution platform. So, you don't have to publish them in the App Store and Play Store. Basically, you don't have to list them. You don't have to pay for Google App Store and Google Play Store and App Store. So, just the domain. So, all right. Before we proceed, because after this, I'm gonna do some demos. Do we have questions? Basically, on the presentation so far. Water break lang ako, guys. Habang just type your questions sa comments sa chat. Okay, we have one. Do PWAs work only with internet connection, or is there a way for it to run offline? Actually, in other PWAs, if you're gonna build them on your own, there are options to make it run offline. But for Adalo, it requires internet connection to run for Adalo only. Can it store data locally? For Adalo, right now, no, because the backend of Adalo is well, they have their own managed backend service, but you can also acquire for third-party managed services. For example, like Airtable, Sano, Backendless. However, since this is a no-code platform, everything needs internet connection. So currently there's no option to store data locally. But I think there's a developer in Adalo. He's, I think, a freelancer developer who's working on storing data locally. I'm just not updated on it, but they're trying to make it work in Adalo. Can it access device, sensors, camera, gyro, etc.? Um, yes, these are native features, and yes, PWAs can access the camera. I'm not sure if the gyro is available in Adalo, but so far I think there's a component for geolocation and for map. Not sure lang if meron na sa gyro. If not located in place, or what's the best and common way to distribute PWAs? Okay, this is a good question. Do you distribute your PWA? So I'm gonna share actually ito lang naman yung sharing ko eh. Some of the ideas na nagkaroon ako before for PWAs, but right now I don't have the time to build them. So I'm just gonna share them with you. I don't know, maybe you can find an idea from some of this idea sharing that we're gonna do today. But what is the best way to distribute PWAs? Well, I meron akong idea before eh. And it's for streamers kasi I'm a big fan of gaming. I play a lot of Dota, Valorant, nung like well, even ngayon hindi na pero dati madami. And most of my friends are streamers. So basically I built a platform wherein yung mga streamers kasi yung mga streamer friends ko last year I had a coffee brand, and basically ang gusto ko mangyari noon is they're gonna post my logo and the logo of my brand in their stream, like kalimutan ko yung tawag dun eh. I'm gonna sponsor them, they're gonna showcase the logo, gonna market it, and for every sale na galing sa brand, galing sa stream nila, they earn a profit from it. So actually yung motivation ko noon is for starting streamers is medyo mahirap yung way for them to monetize streaming because they're trying to increase their viewership. So inaisip ko, this is an opportunity for small streamers to earn on the sides while doing streaming. So basically, they post the logo with my QR code or with the URL. And when they click that URL, it will open the PWA. And from the PWA, you're gonna write the promo code of that streamer. For example, Jace. Jace was was my friend who's streaming a lot of Valorant. So basically, we got a lot of orders from Jace. Order sila sa PWA namin. They add the streamer URL of Jace, and every sales na galing kay Jace or galing sa stream niya, he earns like a commission. So anyway, to answer the question, the best way and common way to distribute is through links and QR codes. QR codes for the desktop for IG, but basically what we capitalized on was social media at that time. Very ano lang naman yan, very small lang yung community na binuo ni Jace. It's a Discord and also is social media, but basically dun lang siya nag capitalize in showcasing his stream at the same time showcasing yung brand namin, but mostly social media. It can be a link, URL, or it can be creative in distributing your PWA. Same as how you will market the website actually. How about the performance of PWAs? Does it run faster than native app? Is very ideal for apps in complex or heavy competition? Okay, good question. Performance, does it run faster than native app? No. Actually, a native app will run faster than a PWA depending on which use case. Sabihin natin if it's heavy on computations, then actually it's case to case basis. But in terms of like navigating from one screen to another, a native app of course will load faster. It can retrieve data. Basically, it will still retrieve data from API calls or from API services, and you can also store data locally in native app. So theoretically, a native app will run faster, but it doesn't mean that PWAs are slow. It's actually there are a lot of factors to consider because that's on your server, latency issues and stuff. But for example, the websites that you're going to build are, for example, restaurant apps on simple apps with FVP features. Then medyo almost same lang sila ng performance. Curious question. Seems how do you see people will integrate with the incoming metaverse era, and you think you'll have reflection in that regard? Okay. I don't know if I can share about this, but um, integrate with metaverse. Yes, it's possible because right now one of a startup that I also part in. Basically, that startup is a digital marketing for crypto or NFTs. So right now, we have a project that's connected to the metaverse, and actually, we're doing feasibilities on how we can use PWA and integrate them with the metaverse. Because actually, I'm not a big crypto guy. Like, very like start lang yung knowledge ko in well, I know blockchain. I did uh I did a workshop in blockchain before last year, but in terms of like programmatically or more technical side, I'm still very new in that space. However, just to answer the question, yes, it's possible because technically PWAs are still web applications, and most Web3 apps are built in web apps, or they can build them in web apps. So theoretically, PWAs can power features, Web3 features. So how will this integrate to the metaverse era? It's a case to case basis, but the short answer is yes, it's possible. Because I really can't share details on that, but right now it's the only use case that I can think of, because like what I said, I'm still very new to the Web3 space or blockchain. So okay, thank you for the wonderful questions, guys. I love it when people ask questions, because first I know that someone's listening to me, kasi ang hirap na pag you're doing online sessions or online workshops. Before, I used to do um workshops with audience sa school lang naman, like in school, different universities when you get invited. But hosting in online is still kind of new for me, so medyo awkward. So please do ask questions if you haven't. Even if it's a silly one, don't worry. All questions are valid dito. So anyway, I'm gonna show you this. This is actually the Adalo website, and basically you can get ideas here. Oh, wait, di siya nag-load. Okay, okay. Let me stop the screen share and open new one. I'm just gonna open this in my browser. Share. Okay. I sorry, my Facebook. But anyway, um, this is the Adala website. Everyone ba dito? Sino dito yung hindi pa familiar sa Adalo at all? Just let me know para lang ma-gauge ko kung how will I adjust with the presentation. Because I have the assumption na everyone knows Adalo, but for those who have not yet who are not yet familiar with Adalo, just raise your hands para or chat na me para lang alam ko na okay, we have a few here. Okay, well, so I'm gonna transition this presentation na friendly din para sa mga wala pang idea of Adalo. So basically, Adalo is a no-code platform. If you're familiar with Wix, with WordPress, Webflow, those are no-code, low-code platforms. Well, Webflow and WordPress, they are low-code. Focus sila sa websites. But Adalo is a no-code, low-code platform din. But ang nagka-capitalize sila on building web apps. Building mobile apps and PWAs. You can also build web applications in Adalo. But basically, ang pinaka-showcase nag-start is mobile. Because before, like a couple of years ago, um, most of no-code, low-code space, they focus more on the website, and very few actually yung nagfo-focus sa mobile development. And actually, sa generation kasi natin ngayon, like most businesses, website is actually it's like a portfolio, but basically yung yung use case ngayon eh. Website is for the portfolio. Mobile app is for the added value service sa mga clients. 'Di ba? Like for big companies, for example, Globe, Meralco, I already have your apps and I'm using them on a regular basis. So mostly mga in sa mga businesses ngayon, it's kind of like necessity. Well, it depends. It still depends actually on your business, but it's an value added sa customers or clients mo if you have a mobile app that you can already have your services in your mobile app as well. Because I mean, yun naman natin eh, mobile apps, mobile phones, they're part of us. Sabi nga nila parang Android na daw yung mga tao dahil hindi natin kaya mabuhay na walang mobile phones. Like one hindi mo lang dala yung phone mo para nagkakandara pa na tayo, di ba? So it's only reasonable for these companies to, build their mobile apps para mas malapit nila yung services nila sa users. So, shoutout nga pala sa Meralco. Joke lang. Task kasi sila. Anyway, um, if you're going to access the Adalo website, meron sila dito na showcase and made in Adalo. So you can find inspirations here. But basically, haba na scroll na yan. These are all the apps. Ito yung mga showcase lang but these are all the apps that are being showcased by Adalo. All of them are built in Adalo. So let's try to check on some of them. Let's see this one. This app is for ordering food, blah, 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 blah. So this is a Japanese, from Rio. So yung PWA, I think this is a mobile app, but basically this is how it will look like in the mobile app. This is how it will look like in the PWA. But what we have here is a food ordering app based on location. You can order food, and for the delivery system, I'm not sure, but I'm gonna share my idea as well before na I integrated with a third-party API to process a delivery. So this is a food ordering app. This is just to show you what are the possibilities uh, in building PWAs with Adalo. So ito parang gusto ko to. Pay $10 a month and get one drink a day. So yung idea naman niya is very straightforward. You pay $10 and you get free drink from these restaurants. Actually, yung cool, di ba? Same mo parang if you're most of us we work from home. If you're gonna pay $10, I don't know, siguro sa kanila mura yun, but sa akin mahal yun. But for example, I'm gonna pay, sabihin natin 200 pesos, I get a random food or drink from restaurants nearby. So it's a cool idea then. And this one, buzzer beater, I've checked this before, but this is for barber cut. I think for finding barbers or local barbers, which I really need right now. And let's see. Actually, naghahanap ako ng medyo kakaiba for workers in India. Okay, this one is for students practicing karate or high karate. And basically, you can integrate your, if you have a PDF form, you can include it in the app and basically events, blah, 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 blah. So, actually, you can check this later, find inspirations kung ano ba yung, kasi actually, if you're gonna look at this one, sobrang random ng iba. But if you can think about their business model, it's fun. It's fun, di ba? And kaya lang natutuwa dito is because when I started building apps or yung story ko nga kanina, parang ganito ako, ang dami ko random na ideas na gusto ko lang i-try if mag-work. Pero kasi iniisip ko lang, ang fun lang niya eh. Like, nag-enjoy ako. Even by just sharing them, napapangiti ako kasi minsan yung iba doon sobrang corny, pero at the same time, nakakatawa siya gawin. So I'm gonna share two of them that I built actually in Adalo. But basically, find inspirations here. Inspirations of what you can or you can't do in Adalo. Sobrang dami nito dito. And basically, maybe you can work with these creators, or at the same time you can generate an idea just by checking this out. So this is actually yung one web app that I built in Adalo. It's Drinking Brews. Ito yung brand ko dati. It's still active, so shameless plug. Just check Drinking Brews in your social media, Instagram, Facebook. But anyway, the focus naman nito is yung showcase. But basically, we make cold brew coffee. Well, before I was part of the team, but actually hindi kinaya ng oras ko. So I gave my partner business so he can still continue it. And basically, hanapin ko lang. Bazaar. Ito pala si Bazaar. So this is the app that I built It's called Bazaar. So, actually, ito yung baby ko eh, si Bazaar. Kasi, siya yung first na tinry ko sa Adalo and sobrang passionate ko dito. Like, I'm meeting uh, MSM, small to medium, micro, small, medium food establishments around the metro just to get them into the platform. But it ended up na hindi siya work for me. But still, I'm just gonna showcase what I built here. So Bazaar, actually yung concept kay Bazaar is basically it's like Grab and Food Panda pero focus nga sa MSME. So ang difference niya is every store will get their own sorry, expired na yung ano ko. But every store will get their own URL. So for example, for drinking brews, imagine you have your own individual website and menu for drinking brews. And so consumers or clients will order through this form. And basically, you can check out orders in this PWA app. So initially, I started this project in React Native, but because wala na siyang data because it's been more than a year since I last accessed this one. But basically, just to demo it to you guys, if you want to add a product, you can basically do that here. I have a menu adding feature. You can delete, you can edit products. If you have orders, pending orders, 8 months ago lang pala. If you have orders, it's gonna show here and the orders that you have delivered. Wala na ibang details kasi ginulo-gulo ko na to eh. But basically, just to show you yung idea ko dito. If you, these are the orders. For example, a customer made an order in this website form. It will go here and it's going to be pending. And if you click, let's say I process the order, it's already ready for pickup. I'm gonna click this one and it's gonna be under delivered. So, paano ko ginawa yung delivery process? I made an integration, an API integration with uh, I think Mr. Speedy at that time because they have an API service back then. So mangyayari is when the client makes an order here and na-receive na siya ng admin, it will automatically make an API call for Mr. Speedy para i-pick up yung order from the store and di-deliver niya dun sa user. So, to know the details of the user, meron ditong user fill out form. So, basically, this is it. May sales report pa ako na ginawa na integrate ko pa sa kung ano-ano. Then, I also set the vacation mode here. Kasi yung target ko nga dito is actually small to medium enterprises, similar kay Drink Inc. na we don't operate actually full-time but basically nagsa-start kami ng business na hoping that this is gonna flourish in the future. So, ang pinaka-goal namin dito, ang pinaka-goal ko for Bazaar is to help small to medium enterprises. Basically, each and every MSME will have their own website. So, bakit ko naisip na wag siyang gawing mobile app and gawin ko siyang PWA? So, ito yung figure out ko along the way. If I'm gonna make a mobile app, kasi magawa ko siya, kaya ko naman siya gawin, nagawa ko siya publish in both iOS and Play Store. Sino magda-download nun? Yun yung una kong tanong, sino magda-download nun if I don't have the capital for marketing? Kasi inisip ko, if may lumabas na ganito sa feed ko or sa na ads, baka hindi ko din i-download to eh. Kasi una, mayroon namang available na mas maganda siguro na platform. Pangalawa, hindi ko alam kung tayo mga Filipinos, meron tayong mentality na scam to eh, parang scam to eh. So yun din yung inisip ko, I tried to position or to put myself in the shoes of the users. Kasi nag-run ako ng interview, gumawa ako ng survey, actually like a full 2 to 3 months just in validating the market. And yun yung nalaman ko. Like, probably baka hindi nila download yung app. So, ginawa ko, if PWA siya, they don't have to download it. They don't have to, alam mo yun, less yung hassle na papa-download mo sila. They click this, they click They click download and they open the app, register, blah blah blah. But in PWA, when you go to the website, when you click the URL, it goes directly to the app. Ngayon, actually, nung naisip ko na pwedeng PWA, it gave me an insight na ito yung magsosolve ng problem na hindi magtitiwala yung mga users sa Bazaar. Kasi nga, I mean, yung name ng platform ko, The Bazaar, parang hindi mo siya, ewan ko maybe pessimistic lang ako, but iniisip ko noon, ang hirap mag-hook ng clients or lalo na if ako lang mag-isa. However, if I can hire these small to medium enterprises to do the marketing for me, it's gonna be easier. Because, for example, meron akong restaurant na, kunyari lang naman, for example, Dim Steak. Probably meron na ako mga customers. And if ako yung nag-share ng sarili kong website na web app na in-offer ko for these businesses, they're gonna believe that this is a work of this store na naging client na sila. So, since ako nakakain na ako dito, I trust this store more and nag-post sila ng dito na pwede umorder sa kanila, mas magtitiwala ako na bumili kasi na-try ko na bumili sa kanila eh. Kaysa naman sa out of nowhere, uy, bazaar, bili na kayo dito, di ba? Ang hirap. So, yun yung naisip ko. Since I don't have the budget, I want these micro to small and medium enterprises to do the marketing for me. Basically, ang sinasabi ko sa kanila is, I'm gonna post this in your social media. This is your menu online and they can basically order this one. So when you access this, it's gonna be the bazaar.ph/drink Inc. Brews. Yan yung mangyayari. So nag-iiba lang yung name ng store. For example, Dim's Steak. Example ganun. But basically, when you market it, it seems like it's your own microsite or menu website. So uh, that's one solution na na-answer ni PWA sa akin. If you don't, if you're not sure or let's say, aminin naman natin, kailangan natin talaga ng marketing capital whenever we build a mobile app. But if we just want to validate an idea, then why would need to suffer building this 2 to 3 years just to validate an idea? Why not build it in PWA, maybe build this from like 1 to 2 months or 1 to 2 weeks. And from there, makagawa na ako ng market research ko. Malalaman ko na alin types of businesses ang willing pumasok dito, what are their hesitations, what are their skepticisms towards the platform, and for the clients and for the customers, what are they actually looking for the platform. So, short story, the reason ba't na discontinue tong project ko na to is because ang dami na naming tinatanggap na projects. Currently, that time dami namin tinatanggap na projects. So I didn't really have the time to develop this one. So, Bazaar. But yeah, although it's a failed project, maybe you can find an inspiration in here. And who knows, maybe one day I'm gonna see Bazaar in the bazaar.ph ba, sa social media. And, you know, uh, at least at least I can validate na, oh, it worked. Anyway, next idea is Be Life. Now, actually, I should this is actually a different case. So for Be Live, actually this is a startup in UK. They hired me as their interim CTO because yung nangyari dito sa Be Live kasi was uh, they started dalawa lang sila, the CEO and marketing. So yung problem kasi dito, nag-start sila ng they love going to the gym. And basically, nagkaroon sila ng overnight idea na they want to build a gym app for online fitness. And I'm not gonna share too much of the details, but I'm gonna share the story and basically my role in this one. But basically what happened was they were scammed by a developer. They paid a hefty amount sa developer nun. I think more than $1 million. yung binayad nila. PHP, pesos. And nung pumasok ako, the product is not even 20% complete na ginagawa nila for 6 months or almost a year pala, di pala 6 months. So when I came in, first question ko sa nila is, before sila nag-start ng idea, did they do research? Did they do market validation first? Did they make a case study? And all of them said, wala. And basically, they jumped into a pit hole with, parang alam mo yan, gusto lang nila idea and they hired someone to do it without knowing if it's gonna work. So they paid like sobrang laki nga na amount and it ended up na hindi nagawa yung app for them. So when I stepped in, I reviewed the contract and ang dami ko siya actually tinagon with the help of their legal team. Ginawa namin is, basically we terminated the contract before they paid the full amount and tried to salvage whatever we can. And after that, ang nangyari is we had a session, basically a storytelling session. We developed the user stories. And we created an MVP version of their app. Kasi gusto nila mangyari is sobrang laki na. Like gusto nila sa metaverse, lahat and all in all, online gym, di ba? Like may VR, blah, blah, blah. Sabi ko, sobrang laki nito and for trying out an app, actually, we're not even sure if it is gonna work. So what we did is we rewrited the user stories, created an MVP version, and basically we developed a PWA version in Adalo again. So this is not a trainer. Actually, there are two PWA apps. One is for the trainer and one is for the trainee. And we decided that for this period, we're strictly gonna do this for market research lang. And whatever you find na results of market research, that's gonna be our use case for the version 2, or if it's gonna be built in a different platform, or if it's gonna build natively, or continue version 2, basically in Adalo. So this is basically Be Live. I'm not even sure if so basically you'll find the categories here. You see this QR code. If you scan this QR code, you can try this now if you're using a mobile, if you're watching the stream from your desktop, you can scan this QR code and basically um, view the app from your mobile devices. And there's going to be an instruction there on how to install this on your app screen. So once I install, you can try it out. Maybe we can get some feedback from you guys. But as a demo, it's as easy as that on how you can spread your app in how you can spread your app basically. So, pwede mo siya, you can use this QR code to share it with everyone. And as you scan this QR code, you can install it on your mobile devices. This app is this project is still on hold, but right now, we're still finishing the market validation of this one. So here we have the home. You can find if there are available if there are available trainers or available sessions, it's going to show up here. We have the calendar here to show what are the sessions under my account, what are the classes that what are the future classes that I have, messaging, and of course the profile. So and pagpasensya na yung picture ko dun sa profile niyan. But okay, we have a question. Can you share database of native and Pinoy at the same time? Yes, possible siya. It's possible with the use of um, you can either use Airtable or Sano. Well, you can even use the collection of Adalo. But basically, ito kasi yung common use case. You develop your app, you do your market validation or market research in Adalo. And after you complete your market research, if you find out that this is a feasible app that you're sure based on the data that you've collected is gonna bring is profitable in the future, and you decided that you want to continue this app natively, yes, you can definitely do that. And What I would suggest is instead of storing your database in the Adalo collection, because this is the Adalo editor, by the way. So here we have the databases, and basically it's the collection, database collection. And everything that we have here is basically ito na yung database ng buong app. However, there's an option to connect to APIs or external collection, and that's where Airtable and Sano comes in. So you can check both of them. They have free sign up or free trial. But ang difference lang nila is mas madaling mag-transition or mas madaling mag-migrate. Because if you're gonna use the Adalo database in the future, it's not that it's not advisable, but very curated kasi yung Adalo database for Adalo app. And in the future, if you want to continue your app, maybe build hire a developer or build it natively or create the version 2 in a different platform because you find na gusto niyo mag-create ng features na hindi pa available sa Adalo. You can definitely do that, but I would suggest using a third-party database or managed backend service para lang mas madali. Kasi if lahat ng data nyo is nasa Adalo and nag-switch kayo to a different platform, it's gonna be very hectic to migrate the data. However, if meron na kayong third party like Airtable and nag-switch na kayo, ginawa nyo yung app from Android, you can just you can just make API calls from Airtable para yung data nyo sa dinadevelop yung app is still the same as to what you're using before. Was I able to answer your question, Vanderbits? Other questions, guys? So Sano and Airtable, actually I haven't tried Sano. Airtable, very few, but most kasi ng ginagawa namin is we use Adalo database. If basically we check it first if it's feasible in the Adalo database, then if not, we switch to Airtable. But mostly naman with the requirements of the clients, we actually the apps that we built in Adalo, these are MVP level apps, okay? Don't mistake PWA or building apps in Adalo as same as building a native fully functional mobile app. So actually yung reason why I failed multiple times trying to build different apps or different ideas is because gusto ko fully functional na eh. Gusto ko to the point na may facial recognition, blah, 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 blah. Kaya niya i-calculate yung, kaya niya mag-process augmented reality, machine learning, blah, 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 blah. And actually, if you're going to use no-code and low-code platform, this is just being realistic here. There are a lot of limitations. However, it's a worthy trade-off. Yun kasi yung ano eh, yung kasi yung trade-off niya eh. You can build apps in 1 to 2 weeks time, but the trade-off is these are MVP level apps. Again, these are apps made for you to validate your idea if it's gonna work or not, or basically to do your research. Most of our clients, after they have their finished apps, what they do next is they identify what are the features that are missing and what are the features that is not needed, and basically what is the breaking point of the app, what are the modules they get a lot of issues and concerns from the clients, basically to understand your business as well then. So siguro the problem with I know this for a fact because I've talked to a lot of no code founders across in different countries. Actually, I do that every day before talk to them, and the common frustration nila is they want to build a complete version of the app, like complete as in ang vision kasi nila is I have an app and I want this to be a complete and successful app in the futures, like after 1 month or after 2 years kasing level ko na sila Mark Zuckerberg. I mean, mahirap siyang gawin. It's possible. I'm not here to discourage you. But mahirap siyang gawin. Sobrang daming factors. That's why, no, kaya nga gumagawa tayo ng MVP level. Yung viable product. Meaning, what are the features, like the base features that you need in order to make your app work or make your app usable or feasible in the market? What are the necessary features na that your app needs in order for it to have a market, basically? So when you say MVP, hindi ito yung like, okay, MVP level lang naman eh, kaya lang niya mag-store ng names, like simple crude, create, read, update, and delete. No, you can create a very unique business model from an MVP. Again, you don't need so much features or so many features to make your app a deal closer, diba? Sometimes very simple lang yung kailangan mong feature. Like, I know one app na ang ginawa niya is you give it, you pay them, I think 10, not $10, but very small amount lang, $5 monthly. And what it does for you is he's gonna create like generate mobile hindi ano yung mobile screen eh, but curated curated background screens based from the collected user inputs. So, and a lot of users are paying that amount because not because they want the background, but na-entertain sila sa creativity nung gumawa nun. So, you can build countless of app ideas, and you don't need to obsess yourself with the feature. You have to focus first on the user, what the user needs. So yun din. That's the reason bakit sobrang nahirapan ako before. Hindi ako nagko-focus sa kailangan ng user, nagko-focus ako sa gusto ko. Hindi man ako gagamit yung app eh. Masyado ako nagko-focus sa mga features na gusto ko. Hindi ako nagko-focus ano ba talaga ng kailangan ng user. And the reason why we create MVP is to understand what the user really needs. We give value to the user and not to the us as a developer. Because yung app natin is useless if tayo lang din yung gagamit niyan. It's useless if tayo lang din yung nakikaintindi or kung paano alam i-navigate yung app mo, yung app na ginawa mo, di ba? However, you should put more value on the users because they are your potential client and market. And you should give more value to them, understand what they need, what they don't need, what they want to see, and go back to the drawing board, identify alin ba dito yung feasible or not. So that's madaming iterations dito, as I tell you. Sobrang daming iterations talaga. But it's worth it. The experience is worth it because as you go along, you'll understand that nagmamature ka rin pag natututunan mo yung mga ganong bagay na okay, sa current na market validation na ginawa ko, these are what the user needs. This is not possible. This is possible. Where can we meet in the middle? What can I offer as a workaround that will suffice as an alternative to their initial requirement? So it doesn't mean na pag hindi na siya kaya ng platform, kailangan mo na siya i-cut off. You have to think of workarounds first. And those workarounds, actually, they are make or break. Because sometimes workarounds are the products that will help you strengthen your business model in the future. So actually, before I end this call, actually not end the call, but to conclude my presentation, I just wanted to showcase ano ba yung na-develop namin sa PWA. So as I mentioned, this is our website actually. As I mentioned before, ang dami kong ginawang apps, uh, both natively and in Adalo, that didn't work. And basically, ano yung naging business model namin doon? First is the component marketplace. This is built in Adalo. So basically, we created a marketplace for components. And ito mga components na to, basically, most of the components that you'll see here are the reasons why why our initial app didn't work. Kasi ito yung mga components na hindi available. Like for example, we have a PayMo component here. We have a PayPal, we have a phone number input. Ito yung mga hindi available out of the box sa Adalo. Because trust me, yung available components sa Adalo is, wait, I'm gonna show you. When I say components, these are the components. Wait lang. When I say components, these are the components. Basically, whatever you can see in your screen is a component. So when I say component, when you open your Adalo editor, everything that you drag and drop here in the Adalo is a component. This text, this button, this list, and actually out of the box, madami siya. Daming components dito. There's even a an Adalo marketplace. But during our time, very limited pa siya. We only have the base components, and the marketplace is not yet packed with a number of unique components here. So what we did is, as a React Native developer, I developed a lot of components before. Some of them are not listed here because very curated siya for the use case of my app. But basically, yung naging model. Yung mga components na ginamit ko before, we created a marketplace for that. Because yung naisip ko nun, if other people are struggling to finish their ideas or to finish their dream apps because of a missing piece in their app, if I'm struggling to finish my app because of these missing components, then probably other users are missing it as well. So after launching this marketplace, we've reached like, I don't know, more than 30 countries across the globe who are using Adalo. So other services namin is, okay, what did I learn from our failures? So yun nga, I failed a lot in building apps, and that actually paved way for us to have more clients because I already know what will work and what will not work in Adalo. Basically, I know what are the make and break points of the app, what are the make and break points of the platform, of the environment, and what are the alternatives that is available. So even though wala ko na complete na personal app ko, with this startup, I managed to help like we managed to help a lot of founders finish their dream apps because of our experience in failing. If you learn so much from failing, then eventually magmamature ka and malalaman mo kung ano yung mga what to avoid and what are the best practices. And yun nga, not here to not here to become a motivational speaker about failing, but I'm just stating facts na because we failed so much, we were able to cater with so many clients because alam namin what will work and what will not work, and we're here to help them conceptualize their app. We tell them during our calls, we identify what are the items that are not doable and are not doable, and if these features are not doable, what are our workarounds? And pinaka-important is to manage their expectations. This is not a complete, fully functional native app. This is an MVP app that you're going to develop in a no-code platform. The trade-off is we can finish this app, or you can finish this app like 10 times faster than building it from scratch. Then also we offered coaching services. Ito din. So in coaching services, it's fun because at the same time it's kind of like a an interactive session where we get to teach them as well. So usually we offer our coaching services for those who are very new to the platform, who are struggling with their features. And we help them complete their app by teaching them the correct way of doing this or providing workarounds or alternatives. Basically help them navigate or give them some form of knowledge about the limitations of the platform. And it's fun because at the same time, you can see that these people are willing to learn, or they're willing to pay just to learn something new about the platform and that. So again, I'm gonna end this presentation by maybe sa natutunan ko lang in building a startup. Actually, lahat naman ng startup, it's not easy. It's not easy talaga at all. I don't know, for some people they're very I don't know, may iba talaga swerte na sobrang parang lahat ng ginagawa lang galing-galing na lang, sobrang dali for them. But for me, it's not easy, but as long as you have the drive and the passion, some at the end of the day, it will make sense. Like you gotta start it a business, and you're gonna fail along the way. It's not gonna make sense at first, but as you go along, as you improve, as you mature, at the end of the day, it will all make sense, and the basically you'll find your calling and whatever you're doing. So don't be afraid to try new things. If you have an idea, explore it. If you have a passion project, you can start it in Adalo. I mean, don't be too hard on yourself. Alam mo yung dati, nahihirapan ako na, for example, sa school lang naman. Nahihirapan ako gumawa ng essay kasi sobrang kailangan intinding-intindi ko yung buong concept ng book. Or for example, book summary or essay about a certain topic. Kailangan nabasa ko lahat from end to end before ako start ng survey. Pero alam mo yun, yung easy way is just to, kung ano yung na-enjoy mong part ng book, kung ano yung topic na na-enjoy mo doon, capitalize on that and everything will fall into place. Magulat ka lang, complete na yung essay. And similar here, for the 21 participants who stayed from start to end sa story session. Ewan ko baka nakumay na kayo sa story ko, but um, I don't know. We come from different backgrounds. Some here are from sales, some are from the culinary industry. Some are app developers, even bigger and baka mas madami pa kayong alam for sure kaysa sa akin. But don't be afraid to start your idea. And if you're going to start the idea, start it. You can start it with you can start with it very small lang muna. Because you can always start big, but if you want to enjoy the process, try to start it small. Maybe create a PWA in Adalo. You can test your idea in Adalo. And along the way, balitaan nyo ako what worked or what didn't work for you. And maybe I can help you out in building your dream app. And hopefully in the future, I pray that everyone here will succeed in whatever endeavors that we have in life and kung ano man yung gusto natin sa career natin. And yeah, I don't know, medyo awkward yung ending ko, but thank you guys for listening. I hope you enjoyed or you learned something new from this very storytelling type na workshop. If you do have questions, you can open your mic, you can chat. Yeah.
Ayan. Well, thank you so much, Daniel. Actually, sobrang na-inspire kami. So guys, if na-inspire kayo, can you put like a heart reaction or whatever reaction? Like what are you feeling right now
Okay, yeah.
after the workshop?
Yay.
Ayan. So most of them love this story and it's very inspiring. Anyone who would like to say something or ask question?
Yeah, any question, I'll try with the best of my abilities to answer questions. And ano naman ako very blunt. If hindi ko alam, gonna straight, I'm gonna say it very straightforward.
Ayan. So, ayan. May sinabi si Carlo.
Okay, it's good sharing them as far as failures are not easy to share. But yeah, it's not easy to share, especially if nandun ka sa process. But at the end of the day, if yung ako kasi gusto ko if I didn't publish my own app, but maybe yung calling ko is to help other people publish their app or make their ideas come to reality. Then maybe that's my calling. So that's why I want to, share my failures. So if ever you started or some here na bagong graduates pa lang na gusto din mag-start ng idea nila, don't be afraid of failing and know that you're not alone and it's a normal thing. Makes life exciting. Yeah, marketing plays a big role when creating your own app. Yeah, actually. na something na ako I'm very new hindi ako gano'n ka tawag dito. Hindi ako gano'n ka galing when it comes to marketing. But I have to say now, whenever we need to publish apps, actually, with the startups that I've been, yun actually yung una kong tanong, do we have a marketing team before we publish the app or before we proceed with the beta testing and stuff? Because ayoko kasi na pag nag-fail yung app, sisihin yung developers when the problem is actually dun na sa marketing side. Any plan for a time tracker component for Adalo Marketplace? Warren, what kind of time tracker can you give us more details of the time tracker? Kasi if it's a stopwatch, I think there are components like that. For productivity monitoring, actually there are a couple of components available that you can use for if it's something like a Pomodoro clock, then there are components that can do that. You can check the stopwatch timer in Adalo. There are three different stopwatch timers in Adalo. But also we're gonna publish a stopwatch timer. Actually it's a lap timer. But if it's a different time track, let me know if it's that kind of time tracker or if it's a different one, so I can um, give an advice on if it's necessary to build a component. Start time and end time. Hmm. I'm not sure if the stopwatch. So yung start time and end time, is it like I'm gonna play a specific remind me after 5 minutes? Is it something like that that will run a notification? Because in Adalo there are two components here. Share my screen. This one's a countdown. This is one is a stopwatch. If you need a stopwatch, then there's definitely a component for this one. If you need a countdown, then you can set the start and end time. The start time is 0, and basically you can just set the end time here. You can even use the magic text. For example, you can create an input field here, and whatever input that you have in that field, you can reference here as the starting or the end time for this timer. But yes, there are components that will let you create that kind of functionality in your app. May mga sites or marketplace suggestions para sa prospect clients magpapagawa ng app. Actually, yes. Well, of course, I'm gonna plug ComLab, but there are other hindi naman kami gatekeeper. So I'm gonna share this website. This is Pragma Flow. Actually, Pragma Flow very is a very helpful dude in Adalo because he also develops component here and basically can use this in your apps. They have a GitHub for the React Native, and you can publish this in as a component. Yeah, important pala. If you're a developer, if you're a React Native developer, or you're wanting to develop components in Adalo, number one is you need to learn React Native and React JS. Number two, you need a MacBook or Mac OS in order to publish in Adalo Marketplace or even publish a private component. So here are the other marketplaces. We have us. We have here. There's also No Code Monkey, Visual Dev, Garlic, Adalify, No Code HQ, Puglex. Actually, the good thing about this is every other marketplace is iba-iba yung services na in-offer namin. So for example, Visual Dev is more on API services. Same with Adalify, more on backend services sila. For No Code Monkey, they also have UI components for Garlic Ario and No Code HQ naman mga templates. But actually, yeah, there are a lot of marketplaces here. Support local. Joke lang. actually, if you have component ideas, yeah, you can always send us a an email so we can also develop a component. Warren, yes, that is from the marketplace. The stopwatch timer is from the marketplace. Other questions, guys?
All right. Kung wala ng question, guys, si Dim naman yung magtatanong because our next is, of course, our free, our giveaway, the No Code PH t-shirt. So, normally, Dim, what we do is the speaker asks some questions to the participants, and then whoever answered first or whatever criteria you set, then they will be awarded with a t-shirt.
Okay.
So we have three. So you have you can ask three
Three
questions. Yeah,
questions.
it could be like a difficult question, or sometimes ano lang yung like question like what did they learn, and then the best answer, something like that.
Okay, okay.
It's up to you.
Based ayun, diniscuss ka naman. Sige.
Yeah.
So, all right. First question, what is the meaning of a PWA? Yeah, gracias, Baba, Andrea.
Okay, so may nanalo na. So we do have Andrea, tama ba? Andrea Frianala in my screen. So, okay, I'll take note of your name for your t-shirt. Okay, so that's one.
Wrong clipboard. Okay.
Yeah.
Next question. Is it possible to no 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 this is actually a case to case basis. Um, ang hirap pala mag-ask ng question. Mas sanay akong tinatanong. But sige. Wait, let me just recollect from my presentation. Sorry. Okay, I have a good question. Um, name one name one PWA app that you use on a regular basis that you've used. Okay, Starbucks. Safe ask easy. Yeah, I think JC was the first.
Okay, pang ilang t-shirt mo na yan, JC? May uniform ka na din. Okay, so we have JC for this round. And then the last t-shirt, guys, fastest finger.
Okay. Um. Hmm. Is true or false na lang? Is TVWA platform agnostic? True. Oh yeah, Carlos says true.
Oh,
All right.
so si Carlo for the last t-shirt. Okay. So anyway, guys, we still have one more session. So next week you can still make bawi and you can still get your chance to have that t-shirt. And I guess we just need to have some reminders. Yeah, speaking of the next workshop, um, Crystal, would you like to? She's sorry. Okay, wala yata si Crystal na. So let me just share my slide. Okay. One moment, guys. Nawala ako. Nawala yung screen ko. Okay. Sorry guys, nawala yung ano ko, yung screen. Okay. But these are just like the reminders for the next workshop. So, asa na ba? Okay. Wait. Ayan, nawala siya. Sorry. One moment. Dami kasing screen. Okay. All right. While I'm pulling up the slide, guys, you can still ask question and habang nandito pa si Dim.
How many hours is the session? Actually, we have 2 hours and 6 hours, Warren. So, wait, often kalimutan ko kung if naka-discount pa yung price na. But our charge per session is 60 USD per session. So I think yung we have a promo. You can send us an email if you want, so we can send you the latest wait, let me just check para lang ayaw magsalita ng mali pala. One session is yours. Actually, one session, yeah, is 2 hours, but sorry, 1 hour per session, but yung yung package namin is 2 sessions and 6 sessions. If it's gonna be one session, then we charge $60 per session. But ang naka-package namin is the 2 sessions or the 6 sessions. So it's 102 USD for the Adalo coaching session and 255 for the 6 sessions. But if you're interested to book a session, just send an email to the ComLab and just add there na no code from the no code workshop, so we can give you discounts on the sessions.
Ayan. Okay. So, are you good, Warren, with the answer, or you want to elaborate your question? Okay. So if there are no additional question, guys, so again, just a reminder, we have another upcoming workshop next week. That would be building low-code apps. That would be by Mitch Swartz, and that would be on April 22nd. Also, we'll be continuing the group mentoring calls on March 25th to April 21st. That's Monday to Thursdays. So actually, feeling ko tapos na to. So dito na tayo sa deadline of project submission is on April 25th. The announcement of top 10 is on April 26th. These are for those who are included or participants of the um, challenge. And then April 27 to 28, we do have individual mentoring calls. And April 29 is the demo day. So that's it for tonight. By the way, I'm sorry, I didn't ask if is there anything that you'd like to blog, like anything that you'd like us to follow on Twitter,
Okay.
LinkedIn, something like that, so that we can, you know, follow
I
you.
think we have one more question from
Mhm.
Vanderblitz.
Oh
So
yeah, yeah.
salary ng no-code app developer, actually you're gonna be surprised because this rate is international rate, so it can range from between 20 to 80K PHP. So actually, as a no-code, hindi naman, it doesn't mean just because you do development, you're a native developer or a programmer, it means that freelance, yes, it depends. It actually depends. Kasi ang labanan naman sa no-code space is how you can bring value to the client. If you can give them the maximum value for their product, doesn't matter, again, it doesn't matter kung gaano kadami yung feature na gagawin mo. If less yung feature mo, they don't really care, but focus more on giving value to your client. If you can develop, you can basically develop a business model that's not reliant on the technology or the platform. It's doable. The MVP is the no code platform or the no code tool is just there as a product, but the business model can be outside of the technological aspects of your app. So it actually depends, but it can range between 20 to 80, sometimes even more than 100 per month. Freelance, there are companies who are hiring full time, some are hiring freelance. But if ever you're gonna start you wanted to start a what they call this, a no code platform, or sorry, not a no code platform, but a freelance building no code apps. Maybe the one good way to know the value of your service is how much value can you can bring to the client. Is that ongoing rate in Fiverr or Upwork? Um, Actually, it's a value in the Adalo Experts marketplace. So in Fiverr, I saw that some are hiring no code developers for above 50K. Okay, how do we find clients? Okay, this is a good question from Marisa. How do we find clients? Actually, the funny thing is, yun nga, when I said na I'm not very good at marketing, so what we did is we created a community. When Adalo just was just starting, nagpabibo na kami with Adalo. So basically, Adalo gives us the clients mostly. They do the marketing for us because they always list us in the reference for no code developers. And actually, the no code building community or agency, hindi kami ano I don't know, very healthy kasi sa no code because we help each other out. Like even like before, like I showed what the name of our competitors, because again, siguro same din ka lang naman kasi na kami ng same lang din kami ng goal. We want to grow the community of no code because especially for the Philippines, like the vision of no code PH, Crystal, you know, we want to grow the community because right now, this is the trend, and this is we're missing a lot of opportunities in the no code space. So it's time that we focus more on giving value to the clients, or focusing more on the value rather than being too technical about the requirements. Are there any certifications for no code devs? Yeah, yes, there are certifications. I'm not sure if there's available in Coursera, but usually the ones that give certifications are the platforms. For example, Adalo. We are certified Adalo expert. I think there's also Webflow expert, but you just have to check. Sorry, you just have to check with these no code platforms if they're giving certifications. I'm not sure if there is a platform like Udemy that, or Coursera courses focuses on no code. But I'm sure there are other certifications other than the ones that are coming from the platform. And how do you maybe a follow-up question siguro. How do you prepare for the certification? You just have to start building apps with our platform. You have to familiarize yourself. And basically, if you think you're efficient in with this with the platform or with no code, then maybe you can apply for a certification, because basically that's how I got my Adalo expert certification. By the way, Crystal is also an Adalo expert. So first try the platform. Next is you can search if there are institutions that offer certification. And actually, for developers here, are there any developers here? When I started doing Adalo, actually ano ako ayoko siya kasi parang alam mo yun, parang ako nag-cheat sa as a programmer. Parang ganun yung feeling, parang ako nag-cheat sa girlfriend ko. Ganyan yung feeling niya, ayoko mag-no code. Hindi naman ito yung pinag-aralan ko yun. But at the end of the day, if it works, it works. At the end of the day, hindi naman nakakasira ng ego niya if you're going to use no code. It's you're just being efficient. And what's wrong with being efficient? Especially if yun naman talaga yung ino-offer nila, efficiency and effectiveness.
All right. Any other question, guys? Crystal, are you still here? Do you have any other last words, last words, or anything you'd like to say? Wala na yata si Crystal. But anyway, guys, thank you. And we really learned a lot for today, team. And again, guys, see you next week again dun sa next session. So I guess we're good for tonight. Let's go back to our I don't know, holiday mood. Okay,
Thanks
so
everyone.
yeah, thank you everyone. Good
Hi
night.
guys, sorry pala yung sa plug.
Ay, oo nga ba?
Check
Yeah, go.
search Comlab Ayo in Facebook or Instagram. We don't have Twitter. But anyway, if you want to add me, we can connect in LinkedIn or Facebook. The Facebook is dim comlab.ayo. So yeah, hope
Again,
to see
guys.
you everyone here again, maybe in the future sessions. Thank you so much, No Code PH, for this wonderful session. And thank you everyone
Okay,
for staying
thanks
with
as
us.
well. Good night, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.